Hey folks, Levi here once again. Sorry about itching my nose there. Welcome back to another review. Hope you're enjoying my review of Justice League Justice League X Ruby Superhero Husband Part 2. That's on my channel right now. And guys, remember, stick on this channel, Levi Nally 93. Okay? Just remember to stick on this channel if you want to keep seeing me doing more reviews and videos. Hope you guys enjoy me doing these videos lately. In these reviews, I got a lot more coming. Anyway, guys, what I've been doing on my channel is a superhero marathon, and I've been doing what I call the 2020 era superhero reviews. These films came out in the decades we're living now, 2020, 2020 decades we're living in now, starting with the year 2020 to 2025. And I'm on the year 2023. I've got, well, two more movies. Well, after this will be one more movie, but there's two more movies left. And, and of course, this film is a sequel to Captain Marvel that came out in 2019, which is a film I do like, sue me. I enjoy Captain Marvel with Brie Larson. This is a sequel to that. It's also a continuation of the miniseries Miss Marvel. I've been planning maybe talk about the Marvel shows someday eventually. Yeah, definitely need to make Miss Marvel one of them. And this is also the 33rd film, the MCU. I think this was right after, let's see, the year 2023. We had two of the Marvel movies came out. It was February, it was Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, which I reviewed, and I did review Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 about a month ago. So, not too long ago. Uh, Guardians, which came out in May. This one came out in November, and that is The Marvels, which I think is a very underrated movie. I enjoyed this film. Sue me. I know I met some people rooms ago that I used to work with that were not fans of the movie. I've heard some people say negative stuff about it, and I don't get it. But I've heard some people say positive reviews on it too. Some of the people I know that like it. So this film is a mixed bag for people. Some people hate it, think it's garbage. I'm in the minority of those people who actually like this movie. Am I going to sit here and say this is a masterpiece of a film? No. Do I think this is the bee's knees? Do I think this is the greatest superhero film of all time? No. But I do have fun with it, and I've seen worse. I can go through a list of worst superhero films that I've seen. I think it's better than. I think it's better than Blade Trinity. If I'm just picking any other Marvel movie, I think it's better than Elektra, Catwoman from 2004. I know Catwoman's DC, Holly Berry, but that film still sucks. I think it's better than Elektra, in my opinion. Which never brought like, that turned 20 in January, and that film I think is a piece of shit. I hate that movie. Yeah, I did review that movie on my channel. That was an epic rant, by the way. May Terrence Depp rest in peace, but that film sucked. Yeah, and I can name a lot of the superhero movies, but I don't want to do that all day. But I've seen worse superhero movies. Oh yeah, and I think it's better than Eternals, Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings as well. I think it's even better than Iron Man 3. Sue me. I'd rather watch this over Iron Man 3 because Iron Man 3 just pissed me off. But Eternals, I think, is the worst MCU film. It's still, in my opinion, because I absolutely hated the Eternals. Hated it. At least this film's not over 2 hours 20 minutes long. It's actually 100. It's actually 105 minutes long. Yeah, it's a pretty short Marvel movie too. Yeah. So anyway, I really like that poster. Now let's get into the movie, shall we? So having we came to be ahead of the release of Captain Marvel, star Brie Larson is first featured in a sequel featuring the character Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel. Producer Kevin Feige previously said that there were plans to introduce Kamala to the MCU following the release of Captain Marvel because Kamala is inspired by her character. Emil Villeneuve was later cast as Kamala for the Disney Plus Miss Marvel and the miniseries Miss Marvel. In March 2019, Feige said that Marvel Studios has some pretty amazing ideas for a sequel, which could either be set in the 1990s like the first film or the present day. Lucius Lynn expressed interest in inspiring her role of Mary Rambo in a sequel even if it was set in the present. At the 2019 San Diego Comic Con in July, Feige confirmed plans for a Captain Marvel sequel. Official development began in January 2020. Megan McDowell entered negotiations to write the script after serving as a staff writer on Marvel Studios, Disney Plus WandaVision. Laura Sennett was confirmed to return as Danvers, but Anna Boden and Ryan Flick were not expected to return after co-writing the first film. The studio hoped to hire a female director to replace them. The film was expected to be set in the present day, but was aiming for the 2022 release. In April 2020, they scheduled the film for a release on July 8th, 2022. Film 2020, July 2022 date, studio had previously reserved for the title. And I'm sure this film did get delayed because of COVID. Yeah. Anita Costi was hired to direct the film in August 2020. Deadline Hollywood's Justin Scroll. This was another sign of Marvel. adding diversity to the films due to DeCosta being the first black woman hired as director by the studio. Crowe added that the film would likely break the record for the biggest budget film directed by a black woman. The studio also considered Olivia Wilde, Jimmy Bennett as directors for the film. Oh, the actress Olivia Wilde? That'd be interesting. But DeCosta was said to have been the frontrunner for some time. Richard Newby of the Hollywood Reporter said DeCosta's hiring could bring new energy to the MCU and Captain Marvel franchise, saying she enjoys shouting emotions about the relationship between characters and lore behind stories. She also felt the film could explore Danvers' story from the perspective of Ira Rambo's daughter, Monica, a black woman in present-day America. DeCosta, a self-processed comic book nerd, developed the film with WandaVision producer Mary Lou who gave her creative latitude to make the film she wanted. Larson said DeCosta was the best person to direct the film, praised her pitch presentation. DeCosta's original pitch included Adam Warlock in time travel, but she was told that Warlock would be appearing in Guardians 3, already dealt with the time travel in Loki, so they couldn't do that. Captain Marvel 2 but the new release date of November 11, 2022. Also, I felt it made sense to have Kamala and Rambo introduced in the MCU and other projects where these characters met in this film. Post production work began by February 2021 with Leo Ashton. It was cast as the film's villain. By that time, all the scripts of Miss Marvel had been written, so the Marvel's creative team was able to read to know what happened to Kamala. Construction began at the end of May, though some second unit filming began April 9th under the working title Goat Rodeo to capture aerial footage. In May, Marvel Studios revealed that the sequel would be titled The Marvels. Ethan Anderson of film noticed that the title referred to both Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel. The film's logo included the same stylized from Miss Marvel series. It tells various Marvel Universe events from the straight-up photographer. Park Seo-joon was cast in an unclusive role in mid-June. Said to join production after work on the film. Korda Utah, can't say it right. His role was reported as Prince John of the planet Avalon. Larson and Paris began preparing for the film next month. They also said the Marvels would deal with personal and sometimes in things, specific and personal things, such as how people deal with pain and trauma. It would have a lighter story than her films Little Woods and Candyman. She feels she had more creative freedom for the Marvels than her prior films. He said the dynamic between Danvers, Kamala, and Rambo was the center of the film, and liking their team up, their formation of the Avengers, like the first Avengers. It revealed that Marvels would have fun cosmic elements, including, some from Roy Thomas's 1971 Kree World book, comic book storyline, picking up the ending of Captain Marvel. Described the film as totally different from the MCU miniseries Secret Invasion, which Samuel Jackson also stars in that, I believe. But the series believed to be tied in with the film. Marvel was ain't over the events of Secret Invasion though, which is fine. Filming began May 31st. Pinewood Studios, Longcross Studios in England. Shortly after, Samuel Jackson revealed that he would rewrite his role as Nick Fury, working on it in London. As of now, he's preparing to film Secret Invasion. Film for the Marvels took place in Tropea, Italy, on August 27th. Jackson revealed in 2020 that he would return to London in August to work on reshoots for the Marvels. And I heard this film did get reshoots. From what I heard, it did get some reshoots. And like I said, it probably got delayed too because of COVID. You know, yeah. That man also made a cameo appearance in the last episode of Miss Marvel. No Normal. Though the footage that DeCosta had filmed for the Marvels did not allow the footage to be used in the way she filmed it. Filming for the Marvels occurred in early August at Battery Mark in New York City, just for visual effects plays. John Robertson of The Ring reported that April the film was undergoing a massive overhaul and reshoots, which took place for 4 weeks to make the storyline consistent. Sorry. Yeah, I'm just reading it. Kelsey Grammer, Haley Steinfeld made a cameo here as Kate Bishop, her character from Hawkeye, which I've not seen that show. Kelsey Grammer from X-Men 3 The Last Stand and X-Men Days of Future Past comes back as Dr. Hay McCoy, the Beast. Grammer was decided to return to his role, which he described as a real character, gravity's importance in his culture. Visual effects for the film were done by ILM, Industrial Light and Magic. They've been doing special effects for movies since Star Wars the first film, Star Wars, which came out in 1977. Rise Effects, Rising Sun Pictures, Sony Pictures, Imagine Works did some visual effects for the movie. Yeah, film has a pretty good soundtrack too. Some pretty good, decent music in there. I do think they might throw some songs in this movie. For the marketing, I do remember the trailer, the teaser trailer for this movie. I did give my thoughts on that on my other channel, but I do remember the teaser and the trailer and stuff, being excited for this film when it came out. And Larson was booked to appear in Jimmy, the Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, I guess, to promote the film, and uh, also for the marketing of the film, like you had the trailers for the film, but also McDonald's had toys out for the movie. Yeah, yeah. Some McDonald's toys set out for the movie. These were toys for McDonald's at the time. That's a goose there, and then Miss Marvel, Monica, Captain Rambo and Captain Marvel, and the villainess, and I guess Carol in her cute dress in the movie, and the prince in the movie. So just some of the characters. Yeah. All right. So I guess I'll go ahead and get to the cast of the movie. Let's see. For the cast, you have Brie Larson coming back as Cara Davis, Captain Marvel. I don't care what people say. I love Brie Larson. Sue me. I think she's a great actress. Yeah. Well, you know what? She's an Academy Award winner too. Again, I'm not really a big on Academy Awards. I still like her regardless. But she's worked with Disney before, like the movie when she did when she was a little girl, a movie called Right on Track. That movie's on Disney Plus as well. She's done films like 13 Going on 30, Sleepover, Hoot. I saw Hoot in high school. Scott Pilgrim Face of the World, One Drop Street. That was actually probably the first time I saw her in a movie. Of how gorgeous and cute she was in that movie. Yeah, she was very cute. Short Term 12, that's a good movie. Room, that's a really good film as well. I think she won an Oscar for that. You know, Kong Skull Island. I seen the Unicorn Store, I think. Yeah, but that's only on Netflix, I think. But I like her in Kong Skull Island. And of course, the first Captain Marvel movie, she was also in Avengers Endgame. And Just Mercy. She also had a cameo as Carol and at the end credits of Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings. But it's uncredited, but she did have a cameo. And of course, she was in Fast 10 in this movie. Yeah. Then you have Tamia Paris as Monica Rambeau, an astronaut saber who has the ability to manipulate wavelengths of the electronic spectrum. It's like she can phase through stuff too. I thought this actress was pretty good. Can't think of anything. Oh, I guess she was in the Candyman remake, which I heard was not good. But working, okay, yeah, the same director directed that. I didn't know that. I heard that movie was not good. There's only one Candyman. I've never seen him, but I know it's Tony Todd. Yeah. Amia Villena is Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel. Can't say her name right. But I thought she was really good. She's cute. I definitely want to see Miss Marvel, and she deserves to make more movies. She's a teenage mutant from Jersey City who idolizes Stanford was a quantum band. A magical bang with that unblocks her ability to harness common energy and create her-like constructs. Saw Ashton as Dar-Benn, a Kree leader who's trying to restore her homeland after a civil war. Yeah. She's the main. Dar-Benn is the main villainess of the movie. Okay. Can't think of anything else I've seen her in. Gary Lewis as Emperor Drago, the Skrull leader. Thought he did a pretty good job. He was in movies like Aragon from 2006, which, yeah, I didn't really care for that movie. Dragonheart I thought was better than that film. Park Si Joon as Prince Yan. Seven Sanad as Mambu Khan, Miss Khan's mother. Miss Marvel's mom, and she was in the show as well. Manu Kumar as Kosh Khan, Khan's father, and Sagar Shanak as Amak Khan, her older brother. Samuel Jackson as Nick Fury, the former director of S.H.I.E.L.D. Samuel Jackson. Not only has been with Marvel since like the first. Sorry about doing that. The first film since the 2008 movie, making a cameo at an Iron Man. That's how long he's been with it since the first Iron Man, which was Iron Man. I think it turned 16 or something. Yeah, 2008. About six. Yeah, I think about 17. Yeah, but he's been in the first Avengers movie. He's had other cameos in other MCU movies. Was in Spider-Man: Far From Home. A lot of the MCU movies. But Samuel Jackson, you've seen him in the Star Wars prequel trilogy as Mace Windu, Pulp Fiction, The Hateful Eight, short part. I don't care. Samuel Jackson is one of the best actors of all time. He's one of the greatest actors of all time in Hollywood. Yeah, Snakes on a Plane. That's a real awesome movie. I didn't know he was in Goodfellas. Loaded Weapon 1. That was a pretty funny movie. A Long Kiss Goodnight with Gina Davis. Yeah, yeah. Iron Man 2. Of course, he was in Iron Man 2. And Avengers and Avengers of Ultron and Endgame as well. The RoboCop remake, which seems like he got a good check for that movie. And of course, he was in Kong Skull Island, so he's worked with Brie Larson in the first Captain Marvel movie, and of course, before Captain Marvel, he worked with her in Kong Skull Island. So it was good to have him back in this film. Tessa Thompson reprised her role from previous movie films as Valkyrie. Yeah, she's just in here shortly, short cameo. Like I said, Haley Steinfeld does have a as Kate Bishop, just a small cameo at the end of the movie. Spoiler alert. Kelsey Grammer release, I mentioned that before. So anyway, people who directed this worked on this movie. Who remember? It's directed by Nia DaCosta. I thought pretty good job directing this movie. She hasn't directed much though. The Candyman remake, I heard that was not very good. It's written by three writers. Written by Nia DaCosta, Alicia Karusk, and Megan McDowell, who also worked on WandaVision. Yeah. Based on Marvel Comics, it's produced by Kevin Feige, who's been producing these movies since the first Iron Man film. But I believe he did work with Marvel before that. I think so. Yeah. Well, if it's not Marvel, he was a production assistant on You've Got Mail with Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks. Volcano, good movies. The first X Men movie, he was associate producer. He produced some Marvel movies like X Men from 2000, the X2, Spider Man, Daredevil, Hulk 2003, The Punisher 2004, Thomas Jane, Electro, Spider Man 2, The Fantastic Four 2005 movie, Fantastic Four Silver Surfer, some of the Marvel animated movies, Next Avengers Hero Tomorrow, Her First, Thor Tales of Asgard, just to name a few. Yeah. Cinematography by Sean Bobbitt. Films like, let's see, Hunger, Shame, 12 Years a Slave, Kill the Messenger, edited by Courtney Hestron, Evan Schneef. Music is by Laura Carpenter. Who's on music score for stuff like Nativity, A State of Marriage, Step It Up, Pray Away, this movie, Captain America Brave New World, which was new this year. Yeah, which was released in February of this year. And it was released November 10th, 2023, here in the US. It's about 105 minutes long. The film is about 1 hour and 45 minutes long. So it's pretty short, believe it or not. Because when you think of a Marvel movie that come out, a lot of them are over 2 hours, about 2 hours. But this one was only 1 hour 45 minutes. I would say this is probably the shortest Marvel movie MCU movie you'll ever see. The budget is estimated to be either around $374 million or $370.3 million. Box office it made only $206.1 million. So, like Ant-Man and the Wasp, this film was sadly a disappointment. Yeah, it was a box office bomb, and it failed to break even in its theatrical run. Critics did praise it for the performances, but criticism for script and tonal and consistencies or whatever. Yeah. I think the biggest problem that people have maybe was the story and some of the humor in the movie. The film did win some Academy Awards for Best Actress for and Superman for Emil Villainy, and for the music score it won for that as well. Yeah. Brie Larson was nominated for favorite movie actress, but she didn't win it from Nickelodeon. Yeah. Okay, so let me talk about the plot synopsis of the movie. I have not seen Miss Marvel. I have not watched that show. I take it she's from Jersey City. She gets her powers. I don't know too much about Miss Marvel, but I'm gonna review it. Yeah, first she said, "Well, I want to review the movie first." You know, movies are a lot quicker to get by. When you talk about TV shows, it takes a little while. Yeah, yeah. But if you haven't seen Miss Marvel, or you haven't seen the first Captain Marvel movie, if you haven't seen the Marvels, don't watch this review. Or if you're just not interested in it, that's fine. But again, if you are planning to see it one day, if you have Disney Plus as a streaming service, it is on Disney Plus. If you want to watch it, uh, but if you don't want to watch this review, that's fine. If you don't want to watch the movie or see the movie, that's fine. To each his own. But in case you do, turn the review off. But anyway, so the plot of the movie, it does take place after Captain Marvel and continuation of Miss Marvel. So the story is that Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel, has reclaimed her identity from the Tariq Creed and taken revenge on the Supreme Intelligence. But however, intended consequences see her shouldering the burden of a disabled universe. When her duties send her to a wormhole linked to a Kree revolutionary, her powers become entangled with two other superheroes. That is, of course, Miss Marvel and Captain Rambeau, who was the little girl from the first movie that she knew. She's all her niece, Monica. And Monica and Kamala, Miss Marvel, their powers get entangled. They switch places, so they have to work together to become the team, the Marvels, and they have to defeat an enemy, Durpreen. She's hell bent on getting revenge on Captain Marvel, and she's going to destroy a planet or something like that. She's just planning like a world domination, pretty much. And along with that, the Marvels have to, you know, Carol, Monica, and Kamala have to team up, along with Nick Fury helping them along the way. Him and Shield that are, you know, have a ship in space. This movie's very science fiction. The only return of the cat Goose as well, and of course some cute little baby kittens that could eat you up as well. I don't know. Return back, and they must save the world. They must save the universe. So there's the plot for you. Plot synopsis for you. And again, if you have not seen this movie, turn the review off now, please, just for your own good. And Darwin, she has a quantum band as well, which equips her newfound powers. She creates ripples across the big of space. Yeah, unless they have to stop her. So, oh, anyway. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong thing. Alright, we're going to talk about the movie itself. So again, if you have not seen the Marvels, make some more. If you haven't seen the movie, if you have not seen the Marvels, turn the video up right now. This is the last time I'm going to say it. So the Marvels, here we go. Again, remember this is just my opinion. If you hate the film, you've seen it, you hate it, that's fine. You don't have to agree with me. But anyway, the film opens up with you see Creed Dupree, the character Dar-Benn. She has a thing called a quantum band. It allows her with she it gives her newfound power. She can create ripples with it, so she's able to get this on the planet, and she's not worried about any threats coming to her or whatever like that. It creates a web of jump points as well that disrupt the of interstellar travel. And of course, it gets involved next to the space station of Nick Fury, who you have Captain Rambo, who she and her crew they're working in space to fix a problem on the ship. You know, Nick Fury, it's called Sabar, the space Sabar space station, led by Nick Fury. Monica has to investigate it. You see Carol at first. Carol has her own ship. She travels around space. Of course, she continues to be Captain Marvel, along with the cat Goose. And of course, she's helping people, fighting for trying to do the right thing. She did get her revenge on the Kree, but for her, it comes as a consequence. You see her having flashbacks of how she got her powers. Remember, she has the energy blast that comes out of her hands, and she can fly in space as well with her cosmic abilities that she got from this Kree weapon in the beginning in the first movie. If you've seen the first movie, you know what I'm talking about. She has those memories. She's got like the Kree, like this Kree helmet or whatever. But she gets a call from Nick Fury. She says, "Fury, how you doing?" He tells her about a disturbance on this planet, about the jump point by her, and and she's like, "Well, I'm nearby. I'll help out." And Captain Marvel goes to fly, and she tells Fury, "I'm here." So she just check the situation out, and she's gonna, she touches this cosmic energy or whatever. And when you meet Kamala Khan, she's a teenage girl that's just, become a superhero. She saved her city. Uh, I believe so. You haven't seen Miss Marvel, or I should watch before this, but oh well. She's pretending that, she's showing a picture of her and Captain Marvel, and Carol ends up in her place. Carol's like, "What the heck?" She's feeling, "Oh, hi, how you doing?" Yeah, and Kamala ends up in, Miss Marvel ends up in space, and Kamala's like, "Nick Fury, hi, hi, hi." She's freaked out, but they just again, Captain Marvel, fights some of Dark Ben's army. She fights some of the army, uses her cool powers, and she's like, "We're gonna stop this weapon." It's like too late, so she has to get on. She has to fly on the Kree ship. Yeah. And also the second quantum band, Kamala has that. Yeah. And throughout the movie, they're fighting their debris man. Kamala ends up on the ship, like, "What in the world?" And then she sees Goose like eat one of the bad guys, and she's like, "Oh my god!" She's freaked out, and because Captain Marvel, protects, you know, Kamala's family from getting attacked, by these warriors, saves them, and they end up kicking some ass, and they save the day. Yeah, yeah. So Nick Fury and Monica, Monica got her powers from touching, going through like a witch's place or whatever, something like that. Sometime in space, she got her powers. They, they talk to them as she's doing this, and that Captain Marvel was in. She's Captain Marvel was in my room. Awesome. She tries to use her powers, like her force shields, but in doing that, she's at the places with Carol again. And this time, though, she ends up in the sky, falling, and Monica tries to save her, and Monica can't, phases through her. She's like, Monica's like, "I'll get you." Like, I got a plan. And using Captain Marvel, they save her. Yeah. Then you have Darwin, who is trying to negotiate a peace treaty, make peace with the Kree, and they agree to it. Yeah. Uh, they do save the colony of the Kree. You know, Captain Marvel tries to fight her, but with her wristband, she's like, she's able to like fight her really good. She's got like a kind of like a hammer, like kind of like Thor, but a little bit of a longer hammer. and is able to fight them off. She's pretty strong. I mean, the wristband gives her quite a bit of power, so she destroys the Kree world, and you know Captain Marvel's still, come on, we can't save everybody. I'm always trying to save people from getting hit by rocks. Gives her power so that the Kree can slide down. She calls Tessa Thompson a Valkyrie from the Thor movies. Thor: Love and Thunder. You've seen her, yeah. And of course, it's weird that she's dressed up in a suit like a man. Okay, but no big. It's just a small cameo. She takes the Kree people, but they are mad at, especially their general or whatever, the leader of the Skrull people was real pissed at Carol. But Carol's like, well, this whole peace treaty, this deal, it was just a sham. She really never wanted peace with you. But of course, he doesn't listen. But Tessa Thompson's character Valkyrie comes and takes him to the new Asgardian. So they have to go find out what's happening here, find out how to stop Dar-Benn. So they travel in their, in her ship. They start to kind of bond. You know, you find out that, you find out that Monica's really pissed. Has been really angry over the years because her auntie Carol, Aunt Carol, has been friends with mom. Apparently, her mom died of cancer. It happened real quick. She blipped for 5 years. Blipped because of Thanos' snap. But when the blip got resolved, she came back. Her mom was dying of cancer, and then by then it was too late, and she really never saw Bree. And you found out that Dar-Benn's past, the villainess' past, that she was part of the Kree, and since she destroyed that, I guess Dar-Benn is set out for revenge. He wants revenge on Captain Marvel. You know, for it. She did destroy the Supreme Intelligence. She did destroy it. Destroy the Skrull. I mean, you know, destroy the Skrull Force for good, ending them for good, and somebody she was able to get her wristband and totally out for revenge. Um, yeah. So like I said, she's mad at Carol. They have a intimidating relationship. She shakes hands with with Carol, and she can be annoying a little bit, but funny in a funny way. The friend was like, "You better not be careful. Captain Marvel better take care of her." I'm right in Spanish. Says, "I'm gonna kill her if she doesn't." He's like, "What she say?" Nothing. So they go through the wristband. They look through the memories, and Molly sees the memories. Like, I don't want to go through that, Carol. She's like, "I'm sorry. It just happened." They start to get along. They start practicing their switching, how to control their powers. They do come to master it, and I do like it though when they're like, playing jump rope with each other. Like juggling balls and stuff, and they're just messing around, which I thought was funny. That's pretty entertaining. And after that, Never explains to them that the quantum bands play a significant role in establishing Jump Point Network, and Dar-Benn, by merging her quantum band with Pre's universal weapon, is causing instability in the network. They realize that Dar-Benn, she's targeting planets significant to Danvers, holding her responsible for the dilation of Allah. You know, then the Marvels reach the water planet Elda and have Dar-Benn. They pair the logos well, of course. You have that. I didn't mind the singing. I thought the people sung pretty good. And then we get to see Brie in that dress, and she's really pretty in that dress. And Brie sings as well. Looks very gorgeous in that dress. They're dancing. She tells them about her friends about what's coming. She's like, "Well, I'm kind of married, but the only language they understand is when you sing to them." So they have a little dance number. But eventually, Dar-Benn and her army show up. The Marvels are kind of hiding from them at first. Yeah, but Monica sees her attacking. She shoots a beam at her over her hand. Just with her abilities, shoots that beam out of her hand. They start fighting her a bit. Captain Marvel does pretty good fight though, but Captain Marvel has to be careful of using her energy beams, her energy cannon beams that come out of her hands, because with the wristband, when it touches her wristband, Dar-Benn gets more power. She does touch Captain Marvel, like, you know, I like when they fight at first. She's like, she has them crooked looking teeth as well for villainous, and Miss Marvel comes to be. Miss Marvel does fight some of the group too. She uses her her tie or whatever, like a tie or whatever she has, a wristband. She fights. She uses her powers, which I thought was pretty cool. Eventually, she come. Her Captain Marvel was flying. Monica they're fighting and taking on Darvin in a fight. They were pretty good as well, but Darvin's eventually meets Miss Marvel and sees that she has the wristband. She's like, "Give me your wristband." He's like, "No." So they try to protect her. Well, apparently the planet will have to defend herself because they're about to die. They're about to get closed in by Darvin's army. Khan then makes the decision for them to leave. That makes an argument between three of them. She's like, I can't let that happen again. This is what happened and what I caused. And then this is her Monica relationship plan to be. That strained relationship comes to light where she's like, that's why you didn't visit because you felt guilty about the person who becomes like, I didn't care what you did. You know, like, you're a good person. You're not to care to me. You know, it's like, well, I'm glad I'm here with you. And they look at Kamala and say, we're glad you're here too, Kamala. You know, they become like sisters almost. They end up making up, and Darvin is targeting their son. Meanwhile, though, you do have Goose who's aiding some bad guys, by the way. And it's just some funny moments with the family, and you know, yeah. Nick Fury doesn't have a whole lot doing it, but when he's there, he's on the ship most of the time. He takes the family, Kamala's family, to the ship. Her brother's out recording the videos, like, you can't, no reporting. But that was funny. Some funny moments with Kamala's family. Yeah, the Marvels successfully subdued Orban in the attempt that they fight her. At the end of the film, there's a climax fight with her. Eventually, they all come together, work together. She's a pretty strong villain, so they have to really work as a team. They defeat her. She gets like she ends up getting stabbed. And he's like, what we could do is like, okay, I'll change. I'll be a better person. I'll help you out. But instead, she's lying. She goes to attack Captain Marvel. So she's the Captain Marvel. Has got Kamala, in the face. Takes her wristband. Yeah. And Darben, though, she makes a final attempt to, destroy the planets and stuff, kill a lot more people, get her revenge. But in doing that, she's about to, wristbands in the space rift. But it results in her destruction, and Captain Marvel has to like push her away into space, and she disintegrates. She evaporates in space and dies. And its termination of their entanglement, formation of a rupture between realities. So Rambo, Monica has to save that, use her powers to do that. Yeah. So Captain Marvel and Smallville, they have to use their beams, shoot at Monica to give her enough ability, power her up, so that she can save the rift in space that employs her powers. Rambo was able to seal it. It's like a time home space that's opening, that's cracked open. Kamala's able to, I mean, not Kamala, Monica's able to use it. And even though Captain Marvel, you know, Carol tries to jump and fly in there and save her, she's like, no. And she doesn't die. They think that she dies, but she gets stranded on the planet of the universe. As you find out the end credits, for some really spoiler, like I said, spoilers in this review. We find out she doesn't die, and her and Captain Marvel, embrace each other. They go back to Earth. Yeah, yeah. With Captain Marvel living over the Earth, or losing her niece. Kamala then begins to assemble a new team of young heroes. Well, first her family, they get, Monica and her mother, when they lived in that house, they let the Khans live in that house. Her and Carol talk, they go into this little plane and talk and say, well, maybe we'll find something. You know, and she goes with these one of these young heroes. She goes to Kate Bishop from Hawkeye. Haley Steinfeld was like, she's like, "Are you interested in the new team?" You know, it's just me for now, but there could be more of us. We could start a team. He's like, okay, I'm interested. Hmm. And then Monica wakes up and turnovers and greeted by Ben Ray, who's this version's mother. But in this universe, she's her another version that looks like her mother. She's like, "Mom, mom, mom," and of course she meets a media scientist named Beast as well, and says, "Well, Professor X will want to speak to you." And she's like, "Oh shit, what am I in here?" And then the movie ends there. So yeah, and that's the Marvels. I ain't gonna reading quotes. I'm sorry, but yeah, that's the end of the film. And like I said, pretty short movie. Yeah. Let me give my final opinion on this movie, guys, and I'll be done with this review. Okay. So the Marvels. I love this movie. I really enjoyed it. It was fun. I thought it was very entertaining. First of all, I think the direction is really good. I thought Nick Dacascos was really good. I don't think this film needed three writers. Some of the writing's not the best choice, but I'll get that why. First of all, I do like the cast. I do like the poster for the Marvels, and I do like these three women. They're very good. I thought they had chemistry. I thought them being a team, kind of like their sisters becoming sisters, and when they hugged each other, yeah, I felt those emotional moments, you know, between them. And I don't think the people who probably think the film is being people who probably consider this from feminists. I'm like, well, you know what? If you want to see a film that's feminist, a film that hates men, watch Birds of Prey. That movie absolutely is sexist. That is the most feminist superhero movie I've ever seen in my life. This is better than Birds of Prey, by the way. Yes, a tons better. Why? Because I don't like Margaret Robbie at all. Believe me, if it was Margaret Robbie playing Captain Marvel, I would have never seen these movies. I would have skipped it right away. I do think she's a better actress than her and more attractive. I like their little smiles in here. She's always very cute. You know, Brie Larson when she has that smile on her face. It's always adorable. She's gorgeous when she smiles as well. Got a very beautiful smile. You know, cinematography. The film does look nice. It's a good looking film as well. The CGI, the visual effects, some by all of them are really good. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention though in the movie when they have to save these people from getting destroyed on the ship on the Saber ship, on Nick Fury ship. All the little cats, cute kittens, but they eat all the the crew member. They don't kill them, but they have to eat them. There's like 3,000 something people or something like that on board, and only 15 pods. So to get everyone out, they have to have the cats you know eat everybody, which I thought was funny. That was hilarious and pretty entertaining. A lot of entertaining and funny moments. The humor works well. I think the action is really good. Seeing Captain Marvel back in action using her powers is really cool. Seeing all three of them use their powers, that was pretty entertaining when they're entangled, when they're you know shifting from one to another, when when they're changing from place to place. That was pretty entertaining as well. Musical was pretty good. When the song music is in there, the music's pretty good. Music's not very memorable. And for the last time, it goes by at a really fast pace. I thought this movie was going by, believe me, 105 minutes. This film goes by like that. I thought it did. Thought they went out pretty quick. This is probably the shortest Marvel movie, MCU movie you'll watch. Yeah, the shortest film of this MCU franchise. This is the shortest one you'll probably watch. Believe me, it's better than watching. Go watch Eternals. That is over 2 hours and 21 minutes long. That is way too long. And that movie is boring all the way through. Yeah. And if people say this movie's well, it's not woke. I thought it was good. I just, before I get to my problems with the editing, I think it was good. The action was well shot. I enjoyed that singing though. Some of the singing was a little obnoxious, but when Brie Larson sung, I thought, okay, she'll be wearing that dress. I'd love to continue use magic on her in a dress too, and dance with too. Heck, and Brie Larson can sing as well. You know, put her in a dress. I didn't mean like that. That's weird for me to say. I'm sorry. I love to see her in a dress. If I could use magic to see a beautiful lady in a dress, okay, yeah, yeah. But I guess the film flopped because a lot of people hated Captain Marvel. Maybe after Avengers Endgame, people were tired of Marvel. I think Guardians 3 probably maybe did well more than this. Ant-Man and the Wasp did not do well at the box office either. So maybe it's just a time where people are just, yeah, from what I heard, the new Fantastic Four movie, even the new Captain America Brave War movie, new movie, they're not doing all that well, box office wise. I know people say Fantastic Four broke even at the box office. I'm like, the new one is, it seems like it hasn't done all that well. Has it made $1 billion? I don't think so. Maybe maybe more money than can I tell? Maybe it might make more money than this film, but still, I don't care if she's in Fantastic Four. I don't like Vanessa Kirby at all. I'd rather just have this again better than Birds of Prey or better than Elektra, better than Catwoman, at least in my opinion. Yeah. When I watch this over Supergirl from 1984, probably yes. Now to my problem, and the cast. Oh, I forgot to mention Brie Larson does a great job. Tana Paris as Monica does good, and I liked Emile Valene. I can't say her name right. Her character was very sweet and very cool. I thought her powers are cool. Very good character. I like Haley Steinfeld's little cameo at the end. And Jessica Girls. I didn't mind the CGI. I thought the CGI was fine. He did like a cartoon, but I thought it was fine. I prefer it the way he looks in X Men: The Last Stand, but that's just me. But Samuel L. Jackson does a great job. Can't complain. I do like it when the cons are in the ship and her brother's like, doing a prayer. He's like, "You pray? Well, continue praying, man. Continue praying. We need it." He's like, "Amen, amen." That's funny. A lot of humor works. Now the problem with the movie, the film is too short, a little way too short, and the story is not the strongest. The villainess, but I do think the actress who played her, Zoa Ashton, I thought did a good job, and I like the moments when she's like has that smile in the movie. I thought she did good, but her character was not that interesting. But the actress did a good job playing the villainess. I thought her motivations were weak. I just didn't get the whole point of her plan. I guess it was just mainly revenge, but still, I didn't really get on with it. I didn't find it that interesting. The problem with the movie, I think, is the story. When it comes to the plot, the story itself, I think that was the weakest part of the movie for me. You know, yeah, I do like the whole thing with this friend. I do like seeing the Marvels team up. I just think they needed a better story. Maybe the film could have been a little longer. You know, it's a shame we won't be getting a sequel out of this though, because as I said, this film it was just meant to be around. I'm thinking it was probably around 300. Yeah, 374 or 307.3 million dollars for one of them. Yeah, for the budget it was like around $300 million. Some for the budget, and they'll make 206 back. So it was considered a box office bomb. Yeah, it didn't make its budget back, so it flopped. Yeah, it did not make. It did not make. It did not beat its budget pretty much, and it was not a hit at the box office. Again, people don't like Brie Larson because of she said that critics are white, you know, or white privileged men. Well, some of them are, Truthfully, I think some of the critics, some of them, not all film critics, some, especially on Rotten Tomatoes, I think consider themselves better than other people or more privileged. I just think that way sometimes with them. Yeah, yeah. But again, Brie Larson is a great actress. Can't remember wrong. She's been in movies. She's been doing movies since she was a little girl. She was a kid. So you can't say she's not been acting for quite some time. You know, and she probably done theater as well. And eventually she'll do another movie one day. I don't think her career is over. So anyway, guys, this movie I think is very fun and entertaining to watch. I like the cast. I thought the cast was good. It's fun. It's just the problem with the movie is the writing. You didn't need three writers of the film. You're kind of bringing a little bit too many cooks in the kitchen with this movie. Too many cooks in the kitchen. What I mean with that with the writing, you don't. Yeah, that's a little too much. A film I hate it when you have three writers or. But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mayhem was even worse because they had like six writers. Like you don't need that many writers. You just need one or two is okay, or just one. You just need one person doing a good script, and that's it. We don't need people with different billions of ideas to throw into one movie. You know, yeah. But the film, the action is very entertaining. It's very cool to see them use their powers as well, and it's very entertaining. The humor works out, and you can see these feel like a family in here. And I thought that was well done. You know, and Bree's acting I thought was good. She still was Captain Marvel to me. If she doesn't come back as Captain Marvel, they're planning to do another Captain Marvel movie one day. I don't think it'll happen, but if they bring the character back in the show or in another movie, you gotta have Brie Larson play her. This makes more sense for her to do the character. Yeah. Anyway, it's like having if you can't really have Tony Stark Iron Man in the MCU ever again unless you play Robert Downey Jr. Can't have no Iron Man 4 without Iron Man 4 would never happen. But if they ever, thankfully, hopefully, oh gosh, I hope they don't do Iron Man 4. No, without Robert Downey Jr., I'm not seeing it. Or having Chris Evans not be Captain America. It just won't work in this franchise. Yeah. The only cast members I say that I can't stand are in Eternals. That's, yeah, the lead actress that was terrible. Anyway, guys, and I do think it's better than the Eternals. I do think it's better than Birds of Prey, Catwoman. If you're talking about bad female superhero movies. Wonder Woman 1984, I'd probably say it's a bit better than that as well. Just Wonder Woman 1984, I don't like Pedro Pascal's, whatever his name is. Cheetah was underused, and the plot's just a bit too cliche. The plot's a bit weak here, but still, this is a lot more shorter than that movie, too. Yeah. I would say the first Captain Marvel movie is better, in my opinion. And also the first Wonder Woman for 2017 is better. Though, I didn't like the climax, so at the end of that film. But despite the problems, some of the issues with this movie, it's still a very entertaining movie. Entertaining solid sequel that I think deserved to make a bit more money. I didn't see it in theaters, so maybe I wish I would have saw it in theaters. Or granted, I seen it in theaters. But anyway, that is the Marvels, guys. Tell me in the comments down below, guys. What do you think of the Marvels in your opinion? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you prefer Captain Marvel, or do you just hate this film? Period. If you hate the film, that's fine to each own. But don't attack me personally if I like this movie. Don't call me any names. Don't be immature. I got time to deal with the people like that. Just tell me your opinion on the movie, what you think of it, and how would you rank the MCU movies, and what are your favorite some of your favorite movies of the MCU, and who's your favorite MCU character? Yeah. All right, and guys, stay tuned for the next review. Which guys, I will not be doing reviews for. Let's see, tomorrow is Thursday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, there would be no videos. Thursday, tomorrow, I'm not working, but I do have a doctor's appointment in the afternoon, so I will not. After that, I gotta go to bed early, folks, because I work very early in the mornings at my job at FedEx. Friday, I gotta work, of course, but also Friday I'm going to go to Walmart. Probably maybe I'll do. No, I doubt it. I gotta work on the weekend, so I gotta work Saturday and Sunday. Well, Saturday I'm working, but then I'm gonna go visit family because it's Labor Day weekend as well. Uh, I will be able to do a review on Sunday, just not for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, but Sunday I should be able to do a review because I'm off the next day because of Labor Day weekend. Yeah, I think this Monday is Labor Day, so yeah, I will be able to get to this next review, and this is also another sequel. This did come out in December. I remember because I saw this film in December. Yeah, it came out in December, a couple of days before. I think no, I saw it after Christmas. I think though. I think that is the 2023 sequel starring Jason Momoa and Patrick Wilson. This is a sequel to the first Aquaman movie. It is the 15th and sadly final film in the DC Extended Universe because after this time they DCU ended. That of course. And my last review. This will be my last review for the year 2023. Then after this, I will be reviewing a movie from 2022 because I missed out on that. I'm sorry. That will be Catwoman Hunter. That won't be next. That'll be Catwoman Hunter will be after this movie. And of course, I'm talking about the 15th and final film of the DCU. That will be Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. So Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom will be next. So stay tuned for this, guys. I'll be reviewing this part on Sunday if I get time. If it's well, wait a minute. Maybe Catwoman Hunted. Catwoman Hunted. Sorry. I guess probably on for Sunday. I'm sure to do that. I can since I'm on Monday. Makes sense. Then Monday, for Labor Day, maybe I can do a review starting with the year 2024. I just missed that 2020. I just missed Catwoman Hunted. Okay, but I do want to try to review it still, since it's still a superhero movie. Uh, that will be Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1. Probably this Monday. Yeah. Starting with the year 2024. Because this came out in January 2024 of last year. So, starting with the year 2024. Start with Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths, Part 1. Alright, guys, so I hope you. Oh, yeah, I'm not rating for the Marvels. I'm going to rate this film 4 to 5 stars and a thumbs up for the Marvels. So, guys, simply comment down below what you think of the Marvels in your opinion. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Once again, my rating for the film is 4 to 5 stars, which I'll put in the description box below, and that'll be spoilers in this review too. So, hope you watch this full review, but thumbs up if you haven't seen the movie. Anyway, guys, stay tuned for the next review. This Sunday will be Aquaman Lost Kingdom, and then hopefully Catwoman Hunted, and then on Monday, Labor Day, Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1. But the next review will be this Aquaman Lost Kingdom. This will be the next review. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you later. Oh, well, no matter, but anyway, thanks for watching.